Greetings everyone, I'm Dan Webster. Welcome to MN's coverage of the 2011 City of Lakes Loppet from the urban paradise for Nordic skiing and winter fun, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Folks, on this super weekend, people from around the world have been flocking to the Twin Cities in record numbers. Never before has the Loppet registered more participants and volunteers. Truly, the culmination of Loppet events and fabulous winter conditions has turned Minneapolis into this year's American jewel for Nordic festivities. So, let's get to the action. The 2011 City of Lakes Loppet is proudly presented by Subaru. Experience the safety and fun that comes with every all-wheel drive standard Subaru vehicle. Learn why Subarus rank high in customer and auto industry satisfaction. Subaru, official vehicle of the City of Lakes Loppet. And by Medica, providing the best in managed care, health plans, medical insurance, health care, and health insurance for individual and family care. Log on to Medica.com and learn why with Medica, everyone benefits. And by the law firm of Dorsey & Whitney, winner of the prestigious Keystone Award, for nearly 100 years providing the best in business and legal services. Call on the global resources of Dorsey & Whitney for legal solutions that fit your unique circumstances. Uptown Minnesota sets the scene for this Loppet Saturday as participants had gray skies but calm conditions to enjoy. Excellent conditions for the snow sculpture contest. 4-foot by 4-foot by 8-foot tall blocks of hardened snow made for a great medium for artists and sculptorers to work their creative magic for all to enjoy. The first races of the day belong to the Penn Cycle and Fitness IceCycle Loppet. Cycling enthusiasts from beginner to advanced categories challenge the ice-covered lagoon, each other, and maybe sanity itself for the honor of becoming the Loppet's ice cycling greatest. For each rider, they loop around the nearly 1 kilometer course for an appointed amount of time, then finish one final lap to determine that heat's champion. Jay Hollywood Henderson, a perennial all-star to the ice cycling circuit, says each race brings on a new set of challenges.
Every ice race is a different condition, and this is like it's like all the rest, but a little tighter course than last year. So your studs are going to definitely need to hook up. And like you said, it's a little soft, but that's going to kick up some more ice shavings too, so conditions constantly are changing.
When you're talking about the Penn ice cycle racing and the growth of this sport over the past 2 or 3 years, what have you noticed most about that growth?
I know personally, racing in the events, that definitely more riders coming out, more caliber riders coming out each year. It seems like getting pushed a little harder by other riders. And then the numbers are always growing with the beginner and intermediate races as well. But I'm very impressed with some of the other boys and girls coming out to give me a show.
And, as the competition gets better and better, what do you have to do to stay above that competition?
Wow. Getting older is not helping. So just keep working hard, probably get some new studs out next year because these have 3 years on them, and try to stay with the competition.
Next on the agenda was the Chuck and Don Skijoring Loppet, the largest skijoring event in North America. More than 160 skijoring participants raced along with their canine companions throughout the hardpack of Lake of the Isles on their way toward Uptown. Now, there are 2 separate courses, a 7-kilometer advanced course and a 4-kilometer intermediate course. The Skijoring Loppet allows either combination of 1 dog or 2 dogs per skiing companion. Racing hard up the mall in the 7-kilometer heat was John Thompson of Shoreview, edging out Rebecca Voris from Anchorage, Alaska. Thompson had to overcome a 10-second delay in his start while trying to untangle the leashes of his prize pooches, Coco and Pepper. After the Skijoring Loppet, it was time for the Rossignol Junior Loppet, featuring the best of the young competitive skiers the Midwest has to offer. In the youngest of 7 age categories for the juniors, Owen Williams made his grand debut by winning the juniors' youth division. Great job, Owen! Organizers of the Rossignol Junior Loppet utilized the Junior Olympics set of age and ability categories. These other categories range from the oldest in the JO division on through 5 other sets of juniors, ranging from J1 to J5. Each of the 7 categories has a male and female division, and each gender within each category has podium placements. Congratulations to each one of the hundreds of kids taking part in the juniors program. After the juniors competition, it's time for the mini Loppet. Here's our youngest minis trying to stay warm and loose for their journey. Our Norsemen are set to lead the way. And they're off! Multitudes of kids from the inner city and throughout take to the Loppet course. Thanks to such great partners like the Minnesota Youth Ski League, the City of Lakes Nordic Ski Foundation, and the wonderful generosity from people like you. Children from all diversities are able to enjoy the thrill of cross-country skiing. Busload after busload of children enjoy knowing they're skiing on the exact same snowpack. Some of the best in the world will also enjoy that weekend. At the finish line, kids can meet the voice of the Loppet, John Schmidt.
Okay, from Loppet, and what's your name?
Kira.
Okay, did you have a nice race?
Yeah.
How many of you are here? A lot of you, aren't you?
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, you ready for some cookies now?
Yeah.
Have you helped yourself?
Yeah.
Folks, this is one occasion most parents overwhelmingly enjoy their kids having hot chocolate and homemade cookies. That's right, that's what I'm talking about.
Leah, you're from?
Sunset approached, thus it was time for the Finn Sisu Sprints competition along the Uptown Mall. Making easy work of her competition in the JO Girls Division was Emily Mingy from Southwest High School. For the JO Boys, it was Connor Benton of Hopkins High School with the victory. Joining him would be sister Sarah Benton, as she did Hopkins High School proud with her own J1 title. For the J1 Boys title, it was a pole-tangling experience. Luke Gosson of Wayzata High School and Thomas Eggers Jr. from Benilde St. Margaret's put on a show. At the finish line, Gosson won the sprint by about 2 inches. Darkness approached for the women's elite sprints final. Past winners would battle each other for this year's prize money and title. Making the turn at the upper end of the mall was 2009 champion Caitlin Compton, closely followed by last year's champion Johanna Winters and 2008 champion Carolyn Bramante. Coming up the mall to capture her second sprints title was last year's Olympian and national champion Caitlin Compton. For the men's elite sprints title, last year's champion Matt Liebsch from Orono, Minnesota would have to fend off former national sprints champion and Olympian Chris Cook from Rhinelander, Wisconsin. Here we see Liebsch leading the group as they head down the Uptown Mall.
Chris Cook.
At the finish line, Liebsch proved to be too much for the Olympian, capturing his second straight sprints title. Nighttime set in, which meant only one thing. It was time for the world-famous Luminary Loppet. Registered participants of the Luminary would enjoy free designated transit service to and from the event, which helped set an unofficial North American record. Almost 12,000 people would grace the Luminary-lit Lake of the Isles in what had to be perfect weather conditions for all to enjoy. Whether on skis or snowshoes, the Luminary Loppet is a once-in-a-lifetime experience that, fortunately, we can all enjoy each Luminary Loppet year. Sunday morning came and the scene shifted to Theodore Wirth Park, the Nordic Mecca of North America. Out in front of the chalet, school buses drop off the day's participants. All registered participants receive free shuttle service to Wirth Park for their Loppet events. Inside the chalet, last-minute bibs and bags are handed out. Meanwhile, up top at the stadium, the prestigious Wooden Ski Club gathers together for their photo op. With downtown Minneapolis sneaking a peek through the Wirth Park trees, we caught up with Mayor R.T. Ryback before his 33-kilometer event and asked about the incredible success that has become the City of Lakes Loppet.
Well, when we first got this idea, we hoped it would be something like this, but never anything this big. And so it has a huge impact financially. A lot of people come in for it. But I think also just the idea of reminding us who we are. This is America's winter capital, period. No city can do this. And we did it not only well, but incredibly well. And so I just think people have a great time. Some of us, go out and try to finish these races. Good luck. And more than anything else, I think it's a time for people to say, okay, this is our climate. Get used to it. It's fun.
The first event of the day was the 10-kilometer REI Tour. With plenty of feed and hydration stations along the course, young and old alike love this event. You can go at your own pace and get the infamous Uptown finish line reception to go along with it. Next up was the 25-kilometer Huygaards Classic Race. This classic race has steadily been growing in City of Lakes popularity, attracting elite-level traditionalists of the Nordic genre. Men's perennial classic champion, 31-year-old Evan Pengelly of Plymouth, Minnesota, won this year's Huygaards Classic with a time of 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 39 seconds. For the women, 31-year-old Hilary Patzer of St. Paul once again showed everyone the grace of her classic stride with a winning time of 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 40 seconds. Setting the table for our main event today, defending champion Matt Liebsch readies himself for taking on 2010 Olympian Garrett Cuzzy of Hayward, Wisconsin, and 2006 Olympian Chris Cook from Rhinelander, Wisconsin. For the women, it's a three-way battle of Loppet champions with 2009 champion Caitlin Compton squaring off with last year's champion Christina Owen and 2008 champion Carolyn Bramante. The City of Lakes Loppet is presented by Subaru, Medica, and Dorsey & Whitney. Start time temperatures were a cloudy 28 degrees as these elite racers maneuvered swiftly through the first set of downhill turns. Garrett Cuzzy and Anders Ostus led in the early turns. Now we catch our men's leaders just past Teardrop Turn, 7K into the event. As they climb up the cutout canopy, Liebsch is the ringleader for this group of 7. Cuzzy and Cook, who both grew up on the hills of the Birkebeiner, patiently study Liebsch and wait for their opportunities to surpass last year's Loppet and 2009 Birkebeiner champion. For the ladies at Southworth Lake, 15 kilometers into this event, we see Caitlin Compton in the lead, led by her 3 henchmen. In second place, with her own set of henchmen, was last year's champion Christina Owen. 24K into this race, Watch Out Tunnel lives up to its name. The tunnel exit connecting Browning to Cedar Lake got an unexpected snowplow dumping from above just seconds before our leaders came through. Yet here we see, amidst the helpers frantically trying to diminish the pile, Matt Liebsch coming through unscathed and almost 2 minutes ahead of Cuzzy and Cook for the Loppet title. For the second year in a row, Matt Liebsch comes onto the Uptown Mall, ready to greet all the fans awaiting his arrival. Never the Olympian himself, Matt, on this day, would make easy work of Cuzzy and Cook, showing that maybe, just maybe, his day to represent the United States will come calling. The 27-year-old Liebsch stated that racing the former Olympians posed some great challenges and advantages for him, racing this course this day.
It just makes you a little more anxious to ski smart and ski hard. Those guys are real good competitors, and I didn't have that much of a lead over the first half, and I saw them behind chasing hard and switching off lead, so I didn't know if I could hold them, but I figured once I got into the tight woods and the flower garden and the bog area, if I gave it there real hard, you know, out of sight, out of mind type of thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, our
For the women, earning her second Loppet title was 30-year-old Caitlin Compton of Minneapolis. Caitlin won this year's Loppet by over 4.5 minutes. But clearly it came at a price. As you can see, this 2011 victory did not come easy.
Yeah, I ended up breaking a pole about, probably less than a K into the race. Ended up skiing the next probably 5 or 6K with a broken pole. And unfortunately, there just wasn't anyone around at that point. You know, everyone was coming to where the action was. So I skied for quite a while without a pole and then finally got one. It was a little too long, so then I had to ski with a longer pole, and then finally found someone with a pole pretty close to the right height, I'd say. Pretty good.
Back at Worth Park, the final event of the Loppet weekend was the 2011 USA Skijoring One-Dog National Championships, presented by Chuck and Don's. Saturday 7K winner John Thompson, along with his dog Coco, captured the men's 14K one-dog title. Meanwhile, 2010 7K female champion Kate Tesh of Superior, Wisconsin, and her dog Pontus captured this year's women's 14K one-dog title. Thompson compared tactics between the 2 days of racing, starting with his Saturday victory.
I think. And so that was a speed course, flat, fast, and the snow conditions were perfect on the trail. Today, it was a very hilly course out there. The conditions were punchy. It was 14 kilometers and we only had one dog. So it was much more challenging today, both for the skier and for the dog.